supposed to be talking about Vacation Bible School, although I'm willing for you to pick my brains about anything. But but I will stick to the Vacation Bible School a little bit right now in case somebody comes on that wants to talk about Vacation Bible School and the resources. I'm actually one of the people who grew up in a church where summer programming and Vacation Bible School, day camps, art camps, all kinds of camps, those were integral parts of my faith development. And I think it's because it's the time that you can spend, the concentrated time that you can spend with kids that you don't get during a normal time. And you can do some beautiful, beautiful things and have some wonderful experiences. And I'll never forget those experiences of growing up with that. So that's why I hold on to Vacation Bible School when everybody else might say, oh, isn't there something else? But I still say it's one of the best things that I was ever a part of. Many of you, Becky knows this, Sherry knows this too, but I don't like the canned programming. I like being able to create my own, but it takes a lot to do that. And there are people that can't do that. So there are lots of canned programs that are good out there. And if you stick to the ones from the denominations that are close to the Moravian Church, the Methodists, the ELCAs, the Lutherans, those will be, you don't have to be as cautious as with some of the others that are out there that maybe teach theologically a little different than Moravians. And I think that's an important thing to remember when we're doing this. So if somebody ever is looking for something, I say it's not the money that you put into Vacation Bible School, it's the relationships that you build with that. And the Lutherans, the ELCA Church puts out Vacation Bible School, free Vacation Bible School that you can download that are really quite good. Sherry, were you a part of River of Life? Or did you come on after that?
I come on right after that. Actually, we were doing it that year and I was helping, but I was not. Right. Yeah.
A couple of the churches have collaborated for a couple of years and done a collaborative a planning team thing so that one person, it doesn't fall on one person. It's like a big pool of ideas and we have a ball doing it. And we used the River of Life last year, but we made it very Moravian because they had some mission opportunities that were not Moravian necessarily. And we thought, well, we like the curriculum, we like the ideas, we like the stories, but we really want to add the Moravian component. So we did. And I know now I remember because Kerner's did their own. They used it, but they did their own earlier. And then Come and Worship in Estamas Amidas in Home Church and one other church went together and did a joint one at the same time. And we did an opening day and a closing day and then did 2 other days with Google Classroom activities in between so that families could do it at home and follow along. And to be honest with you, I had a ball. I mean, the kids loved it. And so we said this year, I know it was Raleigh that did it with us. Raleigh said that they were going to try their own this year. So I said, well, I really know that Sherry needs some impetus and Angelica needs impetus at Estamas Amidas because they've got a lot of kids. Mm-hmm. And we have 5 or 6 kids that come and worship. So I said, so the 3 of us have put it together, have done. and I finished writing it this morning. And
Oh, good.
so if you wait after tomorrow to come, Sherry, I can give you the whole thing, and that way you could give it to Adam. So
Yes.
Adam Mitchell is going to do the music. I don't know if you know Adam Mitchell. He's a elementary school teacher.
Yes, he's an elementary, and he I think he grew up at Olivet, Moravian.
Right. And he's going to do the music for us. And so I can give him, I've got a couple suggestions, and then he's going to have a ton more. So
he'll love it.
But what we do, Becky, is he's coming the opening night and the closing night, and then he'll record something on what we call Google Classroom. You're a teacher, you know what it is probably, but families can easily get on there and have the experience at home for a half an hour, and he'll record something so that it'll have music in there too. Now, Sherry's at Cartersville is probably going to have in person for those 2 nights, but but you could do it either way. But I'm hoping, I just think it's a way. I'm kind of getting into what we were going to talk about next week, but that's okay. I do think that the big thing right now in faith formation is going to be the collaborative ventures like this, the churches that go together and pool the resources and the talents that are within the province and people write them now, and we're real careful because we are very copyright protected, and we don't share anything that we couldn't and everything, but it's really the way of the future. And I think that churches, especially in the Moravian church, because there's so many smaller churches that say we have one child or 2 children, and it's hard to teach one child or 2 children, but if you get them to commit to a half an hour of a Google Classroom, then they can experience being a part of that community. And we've built relationships, Sherry knows, that we'll never forget, because we did a lot when we did a lot of Spanish. We told the Bible story and the prayers both in English and in Spanish. And the kids really loved that. And they loved the sign language. Now, I'm not good at sign language, but if we can find somebody that will do the sign language thing, I think it's a great thing.
I think we can. I think Christy can help us out.
But that's kind of where my energy to Vacation Bible School is, more of the collaborative churches working together, not every church doing the food truck rally or whatever,
Right.
or, it used to be that you could ride a neighborhood and see, oh, I see which church is doing what. But, and that's okay. It didn't hurt anything, and people would church hop. I mean, they would say, oh, this week I'm going to send my kids to Calvary Baptist because they're doing this Bible school and I know all about it. I don't see anything wrong with that, but I think that we're so much richer now when we're able to pool our resources, share some of that, and be a part of that sharing experience.
I agree.
Now, Becky, you said you said they were doing the Lord's Prayer. I bet they're using illustrated ministry, but you don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that's we use that for Zoom Sunday school when we first started the collaborative event. And it's a great piece. I mean, it worked really well. That's that company, Illustrated Ministries, has several things that can be used for Bible schools. They've got the Beatitudes, which is a really good one. They've got the Compassionate Camp, which I love. And they always do something for Advent and for Lent. So I would strongly encourage anybody that's going to do something to look at their resources, because they're not real expensive. That you pay by the number of kids in your congregation is how they charge for something like that. But the other resource that I would, if you're looking for something that's a freebie for Moravians, because we bought into this and we made it on our website so that any Moravian church could use this curriculum for free. They don't have to pay a dime. And you have to have the login. Now, Randy Fulton has the login, and he's going to use it this summer for something, I think, in Sunday school, Becky. But that's those people have great stuff too. They've got a whole Sunday school program called LIFT. I don't remember what that stands for. Living in Faith Together, maybe, or something like that. But it's very good. And then they do seasonally stuff. They've done something for summer. They've done something for the community, for creation in the community. So it's a good resource too. And that's on our website, but it's on a password protected part of it, so that you have to have the password to get to the lesson plans, because that was the way that what we did was, Genome is a big publisher, and we went to them and said, how can we cut a deal where our churches can experiment with this and it won't cost them? And they were willing to do that. And I think it was a great investment. I hope that our smaller churches will be able to take advantage of that.
I hope so.
Pick my brain.
Ooh.
But
well, I don't want to just talk about our little vacation Bible school, because I know we're gonna have a Zoom meeting just for that. But I know we're gonna do birdhouses, right?
right.
Right. And I've looked into a couple of little on those other 2 days that we do it by ourselves. But then on the closing day, I didn't know if we were going to do a craft, or isn't that going to be?
We're going to do the birdhouses the last day.
Okay, birdhouse.
First day, we're going to do, it's in the Peaceable Kingdom, and we're going to have a pizza party, but it's a teaching pizza party.
Okay.
And it's going to be really cool. Everybody has to bring their favorite stuffed animal.
Oh, how much fun. Okay.
We're going to create our own Peaceable Kingdom, but every animal doesn't like the same kind of pizza.
That's right. That's right. And it's going to
be.
You
tell that I've been living with Joyce
I can tell.
In my shadow for a while. Yeah. And she.
It's it's going to be at the Enrichment Center, right?
Right.
The first one.
The patio to the Enrichment Center where Come and Worship meets.
Okay. What did we set a time for that so I can put it in?
5 to 7, and I'm going to update the brochure and everything, and then try to encourage. We're going to need to know numbers so that we can pack the kits that day.
And as far as the closing, do we know what hours on that closing day that we do? Let's see. Hold on. It's the 26th.
I don't remember close.
Yeah, I don't either, but we'll discuss it.
Okay.
All I need to worry about is the opening anyway. Take one step at a time.
One step at a time. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell myself these 2 months, because
you've got
literally my calendar looks like something hit it. And I said it's just going to have to be one day at a time now.
One day at a time. Yes. So if somebody, like in the future, if I was to want to do the genome and get and go on the website, and I needed that password. Who would I get that password from?
Me right now.
You, but whoever takes over your role.
Right. And I think I'm not speaking out of turn when I say this. I can't tell you who it is.
Right, I know.
Anything like that, but because I really don't know. But I do know that they got approved to hire someone in an interim situation. I don't know that the commission is restructuring and they're trying to feel their way through this. So they don't want to hire somebody and then it not be what they really need the help with. But they do have the permission from the PEC to hire interim. And that person is probably going to start like mid-September. It's a little late, but it's the best that they could do. And as you said, okay, y'all, we've tried to alert churches and say, if you have needs in the early fall for Sunday school, for something, you need to let us know before July the 31st so that hopefully Beth can handle it. If I can't handle it, I'll get somebody to.
Yes.
But there's going to be a period of about 2 months that
it
will be a little bit tougher.
Right. Yeah. But at least Vacation Bible School will be,
It'll be over.
Yeah.
And we're getting the Children's Festival to a point where it can happen in August without me.
Oh, wow.
Which is a major accomplishment.
And where is that at?
It goes into different churches every year. This year, it's at New Philadelphia.
Okay.
And Evie Bloom, I don't know if you know their educator. She's good. She's pretty creative. She has created what she's calling a back to school bash. They're doing it for South Fork Elementary in conjunction with the Children's Festival and celebrating the beginning of the church year. I mean, not the church year, the school year. And kids are going to, get backpacks, backpack tags, all kinds of, fun stuff and everything.
Right.
But it's going to be a little different this year than in the past.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I'll look it up. I've seen a little bit about it, but I just couldn't remember.
And I think that the two Gray girls and Sam are going to do the music.
Oh, good.
Gray family.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Love that.
Yes, that'll be so good.
But hopefully that will give you kind of an assurance that something will happen in this office.
Yes.
They're not going to just let the stuff go away.
Right.
And, so there are some tentative plans.
Yeah.
Right now.
I mean, like I said, I hate to see you go, but
I'm not indispensable. They can find somebody to replace me.
But I'm saying it's time for you to enjoy your retirement and just enjoy life and in a different way. And I do feel like they'll find somebody that will grow into it just like you did. Yeah. I have a good one. Yeah.
My goal has been to try to get this resource center reorganized.
Right. Oh, that's hard.
After the move, because the move, Becky, was like mammoth.
Wow.
To try to figure out where were all the books going, what books do we need, what books could we get rid of that people don't really use.
Beth, where's a good place to park to tell people to park when they come to center?
Well, you can still park in the parking lot that's beside our old building, or you can use the street. You can park behind Cedarhurst in the fine, at the very back of the Fine Arts Center, but it's a little bit of a hike to get up
Really?
there. I prefer to do it the other way,
Okay.
and everything. And we're here now. It's open to the public from Monday through Friday from 9 to 4, every day. So somebody, it's either me or Heather are here to help people
Okay.
along the way.
Great.
I just had Maggie in here.
Oh,
Harper,
yeah. Yes.
but I said, I can't stay down here for very long, Maggie, because I've got to go do this Zoom. But she came looking for some stuff for her Sunday school class. And
Yes. We're trying to work together on that. But what church would be the best for a resource for adult Sunday school class material?
what did you say?
What churches would be good to question about their Sunday school materials?
I'm not sure I really understood you, Becky. I'm sorry. What churches could you give it to, or could you get ideas from?
Ideas.
Ideas. Thank you. Thank you. Adult wise, I would say Calvary is a good place. Kernersville uses it some. Oak Grove uses it a lot, and that's a small church, but they really utilize this resource center, and they have a couple people that know what they're looking for when they come in, and everything.
That's great.
Some of those are basic. Those are ones that I can think of right now. New Philadelphia is another one because they use it a lot. And they have a lot of elective, like you, Becky, they've got a lot of different kinds of classes, elective classes that,
Right.
But now yours, some like videos, some don't like videos. So we're trying to, to give you options in lots of different ways.
Yes, definitely in working with this class, older adults, by the way, older adults. Some of them will do the videos, they love them, but I don't think they want them every Sunday. And
Or they don't want the whole lesson to be video and not have any discussion.
well, I try to do both. I show a video and then I give a lesson and then we have discussion.
I think that's great.
I learn a lot. We just finished the wondrous work of art.
Oh, wow.
And it was fantastic. It's very short videos. It's great for Lent. Thanks. I didn't
And
want to.
there's, like I said, Becky, there's a sequel to that for Advent that is
Yes,
equal
yes.
to it.
I'm gonna
So
keep that
if
in
there-
mind.
But don't do anything like that in between so that they don't say, oh, you're going to bring this.
Oh,
These
yeah.
people-
That's why I've been in that church 50 years. They'll put up with me for a few more, I think. Oh, listen, our Bible school, which is what we're supposed to be talking about today, is going to just be Friday night and Saturday.
So your Bible school is Friday night and Saturday.
That's
And
cool.
Yes.
ours is going to be 4 days, but it's really just 2 days in person and 2 days, that can be in person or remote, whatever the church chooses.
Okay, well, Maggie's in charge of that too, so she'll do a great job.
She will, and the trend is away from 5-day Bible schools, to be honest. Most people are looking for something that they can do 2-3 days, along the way. Are y'all doing a meal with yours, Becky, or you don't know?
I think it's 2 meals. Friday night, they're having a meal that opens. I think it's pizza. And then we close again on Saturday, probably with more pizza. I love pizza.
Oh, yeah, pizza. Mhm.
Sherry, while I've got you here, I will tell you that Come and Worship is providing the meal for Sunday night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'll put that in the brochure.
Okay. Okay.
And everything, because
Okay.
we will not have a meal for Wednesday night, just probably some kind of snack.
Like a little snacky picnic thing.
But, we did talk about doing a picnic,
Right.
that people could bring a picnic supper.
Right.
Now because it's on the square.
Okay. Now.
And that is reserved.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. I'm just writing this down.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm Beth Hayes. I work for the Moravian Church in their various areas, but I've done it for about 37 years now. And they said, oh, we need to do some kind of sessions where these people can get to know Beth and pick her brain. And I said, y'all really don't want to do that, but we're doing it. And somehow it got out to the APSI website, which I'm totally fine with. But if you have any VBS questions or any ideas, or you want to share something, please feel free.
Hi, I'm eating lunch, which is why my camera is off.
That's okay.
I'm trying to squeeze it in. And mainly I was just interested in listening. We've been doing VBS. Well, we didn't do it last year because we just didn't feel like we had enough participation. The year before that, we did it virtual. So I'm now doing the VBS that I had planned from 2020, 2 years late. Yeah. So I'm excited to have it in person, but I'm very interested in what you guys are saying, because we are doing it the same way we always did it, which is Monday through Friday from 9 to noon. So it is kind of interesting hearing, so.
Yeah, what I've heard a lot of people talk about is the importance that Vacation Bible School really carries in our lives. Don't get rid of Vacation Bible School, because that's a big part of my faith development. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a week long. It could be a weekend. It could be a day camp experience. I think Raleigh's experienced with some day camp experiences and stuff. But you could do it any length of time. And I am not a proponent of the canned programs, but they're fine and especially if you're going to do a 5-day intensive Bible school, you may have to. I don't think I'd want to tackle writing that one by myself, but some of us have collaborated and kind of written some VBS 2 to 3 to 4 day events.
Yes,
and everything. I'm willing to share them with people. One of them that came from APSI, actually, I went to a workshop at APSI that a lady led from Wake Forest Presbyterian, and she created a 4-day Bible school in the Rachel Held Evans book, children's book, What Was God Like? And that's a great book. And I said, how did you do that? How did you get enough stuff? And she gave me her outline, her rough bones outline. And, it's really a lot of fun, but take something like that, that's popular, that, and, work off of something like that is a possibility too, if you don't want to.
And let me say, what was her, Ashley? Was that who it was? Ashley? Is that what her name was? Is? Anyway.
She said Wake Forest Presbyterian in Wake Forest, North Carolina, right outside of Raleigh. I can't think of her name now. I don't think that could ring a bell, Becky.
Yes, I was going to mention to her that that Clemens used to have Bible school in the morning, but the kids were too busy doing other activities. We could not get enough teachers to participate in that morning program. So we switched to evening, and we did that probably about the last 10 years. Worked very well for us. Another reason for us is we have a full childcare program at the church in the morning. So the church could not accommodate another series. It was very successful.
Yeah, I will say I am struggling a little bit getting volunteers. Our church is an elderly church, but we are trying to bring in some new families, of course, because we need that. And so, I think it'll be okay. Honestly, I've told everybody we could have one person. I am making them register ahead of time just because I feel like I need to know that a week before. But we could have one person. We could have, I don't know. When I was leading it back in the day, many, many years ago, I had like 72 kids, and now just with COVID and everything. And then I'm the director of Christian education, and I just had gotten this job right before the pandemic hit, but the other person in front of me just decided not to do it the year before. And so that I think really kind of hurt us actually. But things happen, so that's fine. But I'm just saying, because nobody could have, of course, foreseen the pandemic, so, but I think not having it then, and then, I just feel like it's, yeah.
You're probably, I'll be interested to hear how it goes, because they may be right ready to get back. I am sensing I'm seeing more and more people saying, oh, we want to do this. We want to get back. And one thing I can say is that COVID was horrible. We struggled a lot in churches, but we also learned a lot. And it forced us to do some things that maybe we wouldn't have done this soon. But Sunday schools and faith formation was not working in the old model. And COVID forced us to begin to look at some of that. And I don't want to throw all that out the door, because too many good things happened. I reunited so many families with grandparents and things that they wanted to do it virtually because they could watch their grandkids. And I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, for me, it's mainly just been technology issues, because my church is a little bit older. A lot of people are having issues with that. But right now, I'm trying to have all programs available in person and virtual. So that way, no matter anybody's.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, because I think that's important to remember. And that's why I told as that you may or may not have heard, I'm leaving this position after 37 years of being here. And I told them, I said, don't give up on that virtual stuff, because you're going to need that, and I just think it's important. Those are my words of wisdom.
Those are good words.
And I'm not a tech person. I had to learn a lot.
I think we all did. Who knew what Zoom was, right?
And for me to
what's
Zoom from my home with my cats. Sherry doesn't remember my cat bombs, my cats that we Zoom bomb my lessons.
I remember some of them coming around. They're so cute. Yes. Yes.
But it all worked. Sherry, the lady, and I are actually collaborating with two other people, and we wrote a VBS this summer that's going to be, we're going to have an opening night and a closing night, but then the other 2 nights are going to be done on Zoom, Google Classroom. They can do it at their pace and whatever they want. And we're hoping that's gonna work.
It's gonna work.
Yeah.
Beth has put you've written the stuff. You've been the busy one with it, but we're gonna make it work good.
Do you struggle every year looking for a different VBS? Or does it always fall to a publisher that you like better? No ideas?
Well, I think at Kernersville, every starting about February, we start saying, oh my goodness, we've got to start thinking about VBS. But last year, or doing the collaborative stuff really has made a difference. I mean, it has taken a lot of the struggle out of it. I mean, to come up with ideas, because you're all doing it together. So you've got a bunch of ideas. And I think that's so good.
Yeah, we purchased ours. We do Cokesbury typically. I used to teach school before I decided to become a stay-at-home mom, and then decided to do this. And I love the science aspect that's with that. The kids get so excited, and I just think it's, fun to incorporate that and for them to realize that that is a part of religion, So we're like, that is not, no, it is together. So we're doing To Mars and Beyond because, like I said, I had it in 2020. And so.
Oh, you're not doing the food truck one then? You're not doing this year?
No. Yeah, I saw that one, but I had already purchased the kit in February. We normally purchase it. And as we all know, spring break, everything stopped. So
yeah, I told people, I said, keep those kits. Don't throw them away because, I mean, you paid for them. They'll be usable, along the way.
Yeah, and it also, there was a one-room VBS component, which I thought for our situation would be really good. So I did purchase that, but that wasn't very much, I think it was like $20 or something for the digital copy. And so that kind of helped me kind of figure out, because again, if we have 5 kids, we'll definitely all be in one room, so. So, yeah. But I think that's pretty neat. But I was lucky and I bought the puppet. A lot of things now you can't find anymore, because it's gone. And as a matter of fact, in the one room VBS, it said, go to our website. And so, and it's not there anymore. So I actually contacted them, and somebody from Cokesbury got back with me, and he gave me all the everything, that was missing. So I thought that was very nice that, they followed through. He's like, we're so sorry. That was an oversight on our part. And here you go. So let me know if you need anything else.
Generally, from the publishing end, I really always liked Cokesbury because it was very easy and very teacher friendly, but yet it did incorporate some things that were maybe interesting to kids that others wouldn't have thought about doing, like the science stuff that other people wouldn't have thought about doing. I don't know if you're familiar, Tina, at all with the Messy Church. It's I don't know how to describe it, but it's a series of books that are written, and they have like lesson plans in them, and you can take them and create a curriculum out of it. And they have one that's all science experiments.
Oh, wow.
And it's fun. That's the most interesting book. I think it's like behind me. Science experiment. Let me see. I think my science experiment's gone. This was the game one that they did.
Okay.
But they have one that's own science experiments, and I love that one.
Okay, thank you.
If you're not familiar with it, if you Google messychurch.org, but do it as Messy Church USA, because it is actually comes from Great Britain, and they're the ones that originated it. But now there's a big movement in the United States using it. And
Yeah, I did
it's
see
like-
that. It was mentioned in one of the APCE, one of their,
right.
yeah. So I found out.
So I really like this stuff. It does take a little bit of work going through and finding what you need sometimes, but I do like it a lot. It would be great. Becky, I don't know if Randy is still doing Wednesday nights. Is that kind of fizzled? She's muted.
Not now. Randy's doing as much as he can. And
Yeah, I know
yeah.
he can't do it,
Right.
do it all and everything, but some of this stuff might
For sure
really
not.
be interesting to him because it's fun. I mean, we had fun. We used it for what, 1/4 of the faith formation, Sherry?
I think so,
guess.
yeah, because I went to
Yeah.
several
But
of
like I said, it's hard because if you don't have an educator or somebody on staff, you have to kind of go through their stuff and put together the units. And a lot of people don't have the time or the patience to do that. Now Randy could easily do that because he's probably at home a lot, but but it's great stuff.
I'll
Mhm.
pass that along to him.
I don't know if I've told him about this. He actually is taking up on the genome thing that I told you about.
Oh, yeah.
Genome does a lot of Advent special season stuff that is really good if you're not familiar with it, at least Tina. Genome Ministries, they started many years ago, they started with a midweek program called Logos. And
Right.
Logos was very popular and it's kind of grown out of that.
Yes, we used Logos. It was great. And a lot of kids too.
Mhm, I bet.
I'm not sure I could. I don't know exactly what direction y'all want to, if there are other things, I'll be glad to answer it. We do, in this resource center, the only VBS that we kept, because we had limited space for what we could move and bring over here. But I said, if you're going to keep anything, you're going to keep the marketplace kits, because the marketplace that group did, I don't know if you're familiar with those. We used one of them at Clemens one year, Becky, but those are wonderful resources that they're not going to publish them anymore. So if you have them, that's it. And we have the whole set. They're right behind me.
Okay.
They're in boxes right behind me, but it's like the Sea of Galilee and Hometown Nazareth. And that was the year that we did it in tents outside. Now, Becky, that may have been, that's been a long time ago. Because that was when my daughter was little, and she is not little now. So but that's a great program. It will never date. So if you're ever interested in going through one of the biblical experiences, because it's like being on site in the Holy Land, but doing it. We made bricks. I'll never forget doing that. It was a lot of fun. We tie-dyed and made bricks that year, I remember.
That's fun.
But we kept all of those. I have managed to stay in touch with publishers so that I know where the main publishing houses, what their themes are for the year. but we're not going to actually buy them like we have in the past. We can direct you exactly where to go to get them though. That's not an issue. I think Cokesbury's this year is food truck rally or something like that.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Mhm. But I applaud you for holding on to what you created and using it.
My pastor just came to me and she asked me if there was any way we could make VBS bilingual this year. And I was like, oh boy, that's kind of a big ask. But it's because we have a food pantry and the majority of our food pantry are people who speak Spanish. And so I kind of went back to the whole To Mars and Beyond stuff, and there's not like a ton of Spanish, there's like a few little pieces, but there's not a ton. And so I don't know, I told her maybe moving forward, that's something that we could do like next year, when we have plenty of time to think about it and plan for it. But
I might share again, Sherry and I were in a partnership together where we did faith formation and created this and Zoom for like 3 years. And we, for a group of churches, 5 churches, one of the churches is our Hispanic church.
Oh,
and we were very conscious about, they were very conscious about saying, our kids, that they'll get anything in English and that's okay, but we'd love for them to hear it in Spanish too. So what we did was we took the memory verse every week and we did it in English, Spanish, and sign language. And then we did the closing prayer the same way. And if there were Sundays where there was a special song that Angelica knew about, we would do that. I do remember the closing of the joint VBS last year, and we did a worship service celebration, but we did it in English and Spanish, and it was really cool. But you have to have somebody that's, I could never have pulled that off.
Right.
But I had her right there.
Right. So now when you did that, did you just say like a larger, because this is something I've been trying to figure out. So would you just say a larger chunk of like English and then do it in Spanish? And then, you know what I mean? Like how
if you were doing the whole worship service, you would have to do that. The memory verse, we would always, it seems like I remember, you may have to refresh me, Sherry, but we would do it in Spanish, in English, and we do it in sign language because we had some kids that were very interested in learning sign language, and one of the girls one of the leaders knew it well enough, and she would record the sign language so the kids could learn it. And then the Spanish speaking pastor that was helping us would do it in Spanish, and we did the memory verse, but that was not very long, and
right.
pretty easy too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't know if that is helpful. Doing the worship service was a little bit tougher. I do remember that, but it's okay. It was okay. People appreciate it.
Yeah. my youngest is graduating this year, high school, but when my kids were younger, if I saw an option for a bilingual VBS, I think I'd be very interested in having my kids participate into that. So I think it's a really neat idea. It's just to figure out how to go about it. For Spanish wise, I can only do like numbers and color. You know what I mean? I definitely can't have a conversation. So we would definitely need help for sure, but from somebody who is completely fluent for sure. Yeah.
That I can remember, if there were times where we were creating some kind of food or coming up with some food aspect, this Spanish pastor would always chime in some resources, and we try to include those so that the kids didn't think it was all, white American English
Mhm.
speaking. And the kids really enjoyed that part of it. I had a little girl that came up to me last Sunday. We'd taken a break for a while, and she came up to me at church and she said, I miss being there. I miss doing the sign language. And she was one that liked doing the yoga. And we did story and stretch, yoga stories, Bible stories. And, she loved that part. Tina, where are you from? I can't remember. I know I saw your contact stuff, but I don't remember.
Yeah, that's fine. We're in Germantown, Tennessee, which is right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm from Germantown Cumberland Presbyterian Church.
You're a Cumberland press person? Oh, I miss my connections. I used to do a lot of collaborative writing with a couple Cumberland people that I just love, like Claudette, and Cindy Martin, and I don't know if you know any of those people, but they all worked for the national staff.
Claudette Pickle?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she was the DCE here. Not right before I came. It was her and then somebody else, and then I came in. So yeah.
She is a gem.
Yeah, she's amazing. And yeah, I know Cindy too. She's the one that still does, resources and stuff for our church. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really like it a lot. I was not brought up in the church, and so it's all kind of, newer for me, but I started coming here when my kids were pretty little. So we've been here for a while. We really like it a lot.
And if you started during the pandemic, that had to have been hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell you, cannot imagine what that was like.
Yeah, just a smidge. Oh my gosh, it was craziness. Well, and I feel like I'm not very tech savvy, but I'm like way more than most of the people here. You know what I mean? Like they come to me for help and I'm like, I don't know how to do any of this either. So I used my husband as a huge resource, and I still do. Sometimes I'm calling, I'm like, why is this not working? So, but I think we learned a lot. And like you said, Beth, I mean, I think, like this week we're having our senior blessing service, and because of the pandemic, when they did it for my daughter, she's a 2020 baby or graduate. And so they did it virtually. And then the next year we still had to social distance and people still couldn't travel. And so I said, if anybody has videos from family members that live far away, I'll incorporate that into the service. Well, then this year, like I said, my daughter's graduating. Well, none of our family lives here. And so I was like, you know what? We should just offer that to everybody. I mean, what a neat thing for them to all get little pictures. And people have gotten really creative with the videos. Some are just like, hey, congratulations. But other people like put music to pictures, just all kinds of neat stuff. And of course, the kids haven't seen it yet, but I'm super excited, to see them.
That's a great idea.
That is. That's a good idea.
Well, I appreciate y'all giving me your time, your day. And I'll stay around here for a few minutes if you've got other questions, but know that you can come back every Tuesday at 2:00 on the same Zoom link. That's not the same topic, because next week we're going to talk about how you form collaborative teams. And that has really been big for us. And then the week after that, we're doing adult faith formation, because a lot's been lost with adults, and so we're going to try to help them a little bit. And then the last week, we're going to talk about the directions that I see faith formation moving in the future.